Welcome, everyone. Before we dive into 10 tips to get the most out of Monday.com, we should probably introduce ourselves, Dave, right? But instead
Yeah,
of the usual way,
yeah, you're right. Let's do it James Bond style. Thanks. All right. I'm Conkling, David Conkling, Principal Customer Success Manager.
and I'm Isaiah Lee, Senior Solution Engineer. Don't worry, we'll explain.
Yep. If you're like me, your favorite part of every James Bond movie is when he visits Q's armory. He always gets outfitted with a slew of weapons that don't look like weapons.
And you know what? That's a lot like the features we're going to be talking about today. Secret weapons hiding in plain sight that can make a world-saving difference.
Yeah. And unlike Bond, you won't need a license to use them.
And they also won't require you to let the bomb clock go down to 1 second. They work whenever you need them.
Yeah. And we promise that by the end, you'll definitely feel like a secret agent with Monday.com as your sidekick.
But there's no tux required. And with that, let's kick things off with our very first tip, shall we, Dave?
Let's do it. Surprise, you're actually all going to get 11 tips today. When we reached out internally to our Monday experts here, the most commonly suggested tip was Command or Control B. By a show of hands, do anybody know what this does? A few of you? No, not that many. Yeah, see somebody over there. All right.
It's a good tip.
Yeah, exactly.
Or better known as bolt switch. So, Dave, let's see this in action, shall we?
Locked. Let's see it in action. All right, I'm just going to show you a basic board here. Don't worry, we'll come back to this in a second. And I'm going to go ahead and press Command B. Pops up this really cool modal. Now, surely some of you knew about this, but what it does is it brings up your most recently visited boards. To be honest, it's kind of a before and after type of tip. Like, it changes the way you interact with Monday. Very simple. And we're not going to spend too much more time on this because we have a lot of other tips to get to. But you may have noticed some people came around and handed out some stickers before. We went ahead and we printed out all of the other keyboard shortcuts that are in Monday, and we handed them out so you can put them on your laptop, so no more searching for them.
That's
Okay.
right. So now that everyone has that in hand, okay, Dave, let's actually get into the real tips, shall we?
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Fine. Tip number 1, required fields. So we're going to start today in MI6, the Q branch. Every mission starts here. We've got racks of gadgets, some brilliant, some not so brilliant. Let's just say exploding bears are still in R&D. Now, here's the challenge. What happens if we let these out into the field without the proper checks? We've got missing risk levels. We've got no deployment dates. We have no idea if 007 will even like the gadget. So that's where the chaos starts. Reports are useless, automations misfire, and before you know it, you've got an invisible car rolling off the assembly line without having a test drive.
Yikes.
Yeah, I know. Let's see it in action. All right, now first off, we're going to show you what it looks like with no required fields set up. As you can see, if I click here and I press Add Item and I just type in something, exploding bear, I press Enter, the item's created. It's as simple as that. That's the moment of item creation. We're missing a lot of data, and we can't force people exactly to use it except for using form. Now, if we go over here to required fields, so you can take a look, you'll see that this is our board, our gadgets concept board. And if we enter in a new item, you'll see that we have these 3 little red dots here. I've gone ahead and made these columns required. That little red asterisk is, as we know, the common theme, the common item that says this is required. Now, if I go ahead and I enter an item here, add item, a new modal pops up requiring you to fill in information. It's a great way to make sure that you're getting the data into your fields and into your boards that you really need. Now, additionally, it also allows you to make use of a really great automation trigger, the when item is created trigger, which normally happens right after you press enter at the add item button right here. Now, because you're entering in all of the information that you need, the moment of item creation happens after you've entered in all the information. So for this example, I've actually added 2 automations, one that will route an item in a certain way if it's deemed too unsafe, and another that will route it in another way directly into production if the status is marked as something acceptable. So let's go ahead and do that right now. First of all, we're going to add in a new item, new gadget. Let's say something dangerous, like a black hole generator. And let's say the risk level here is obviously might end the world.
Sounds about right.
Will 007 like this? Probably not. And when do we need it by? Let's say, I don't know, sometime next week. Let's give them a few days to work on it. Okay, I'm going to go create item. And that's going to immediately start an automation. And it's going to kick it right down to the end. We're not making this one. It's too dangerous. But let's see it if it's an item that we do want. Let's say automated martini shaker.
I might need one after this.
Yeah, it seems good. Yeah, let's do that. Risk level, low, probably medium, depending on how many times you use it. 007 would definitely like this. And the deployment date, we need it today. All right, I'm going to go ahead and create this item. And because it's met a few of the things that we set up for the automation trigger, it immediately moves in production. No requiring, no messy workarounds. So whether it's spy gadgets or your team's projects, required fields stop bad data before they get into the system, which means automations run smoother, reports are accurate, and you can trust what you're reading. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the next one.
Okay, tip number 2, Monday Sidekick. So think of this as your Felix Lighter, your partner that shows up at just the right time. So by leveraging Monday.com's new AI capabilities, we can actually build entire workflows with just a few sentences. So you guessed it, should we see this in action now? Looking at James Bond's tasks, what's missing? The actual task. This is a blank canvas. What else is missing? The structure and the overall governance. So with the power of Monday AI Sidekick, we could standardize this whole process. We can construct what we need to here at scale. How can we do that? So I have a prompt in which we're going to ingest into Monday Sidekick here. And what am I saying within the prompt? I'm saying, hey, create these groups that are then going to determine what the stage gates are. Ideation, validation, decision, approved, rejection, as well as creating the pertinent tasks here. So here, without me having to lift a finger, the magic happens. We see these groups that are being updated, as well as pertinent tasks. For James Bond, that might be the MI6 undercover network expansion, quantum encryption initiation. So Monday AI does all the heavy lifting for you. This is basically Q handing you a gadget, but instead of an exploding pen, it's an AI agent that saves you tons of hours. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you. All right, match workflow. So for this one, we're going to take a little walk and explore the world of finance in an evil empire. So Spectre, the evil organization from the James Bond universe, has dozens of evil villain lairs around the world. And as you can imagine, they all probably have budgets. And tracking the invoices required for those budgets, it's probably a mess. They're flying in all the time. And you've got one board that's tracking the budgets. You've got one board tracking the invoices. But how do we connect them very easily? I've got something that we're going to show you here. It's called the Find Matching Item Workflow block. So it's a part of the Advanced Workflow Builder. And let's see this in action. All right, let's see it in action. There we go. OK, excellent. So as you can see right here, we have our secret layer invoices page. And this is where people are entering the invoices. We have some people working on this board, some people working on the others. And we want to find a way to connect these two. So when people have enter in an invoice, they put in the name, they put in the layer ID. Now this is the really important thing, because we're going to have another board right here, the budgets board, that's going to track the budgets by putting invoices below the budget. So how do we connect these two? We actually have the layer ID right here. So we're going to show a very simple workflow that's going to do one thing very simply. When a status changes on the invoice board to approves the invoice, we're then going to get the item data. the invoice item data. We're then going to go and find the matching item in the budgets board. Now this is the block. This is where the magic happens right here. And because they both have the same layer ID, what they're going to do is we've now forged that connection, and then we can take any sort of like advanced steps that we want to. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to create a sub-item underneath the corresponding budget. And we also have roll-ups and formulas on the other on the budget board that are then going to do the additional calculations. So let's see this happen in real time. I'm going to go ahead and add something for the Moonraker moon base. I think that they would probably want, gold-plated spacesuits. And here's where we do the really important part. We're going to go ahead and add the layer ID. And then we got to add in an amount. All right, let's make it $25 million. Expensive spacesuits. So I've entered these in, and now you see nothing's happened yet because we haven't started the trigger of the automation. Go ahead and do this. Boom, approved. You're going to see an workflow start to run. Now let's go here quickly to the Moonraker space station, and it's immediately found the matching item. It's then done the advanced action of adding in a sub-item, and we've automatically totaled this up, and we've gone over budget. So with this workflow, you've got budgets that get updated automatically. You've got one source of truth, zero duplicate entry, and no frantic calls down to the base to see what's going on. All right, let's move on to the next tip.
Tip number 4, AI sprint summary. So one of the hardest parts of running sprints, engineers will tell you, is not actually the work. It's summarizing the results. So AI sprint summary in Monday.com does the heavy lifting. So let's see this in action, shall we? We have now transported into our Monday Dev product. As I mentioned, as engineers, they are working tirelessly to build some of your most important functions within your business today. And it's not the work that's difficult. They are coders. They're incredibly smart. Where the challenges lie are, hey, how can we get better sprint over sprint? What are those metrics, those analytics? So to bring you through this journey here, looking at this dedicated tasks board, we can see all of the groups represented as sprints, and beneath the sprints now are the specific tasks at hand. For example, looking at Sprint Operation GoldenEye, we know that developing a retina scan authentication for secure access is incredibly important, such as encrypting mission-critical data. And now I also have all of the other important aspects that are important to completing these tasks, such as where are we progress the plan, the statuses, the criticality, also understanding how much work is it going to take to complete these tasks at hand. Now, as a lead engineer, once I complete this particular sprint, this is where the magic is going to happen. At the bottom here, we have a loading bar letting us know that the sprint is now complete. Now, going back into the dedicated high-level sprint board here, we can see both all of the completed sprints as well as the ongoing sprints. Now, as I called out, where the magic happens is if we look at this AI sprint summary column, we'll notice that within a few seconds, with the power of AI, it's automatically calling out, hey, what are those key highlights that we've derived from this completed sprint, from Operation GoldenEye, pretty snazzy, right? As well as automatically generating this velocity chart for me to understand where were our committed versus completed tasks, having that juxtaposition, calling out the planned versus unplanned tasks here. And then last but not least, how are we going to learn more insightfully from our completed sprints? AI recommending action items. For example, based off of the data, we need to implement a daily stand-up to track progress, to set us up for success in future sprints, increasing task commitment for future sprints as well, for some examples here. So, as you saw, it doesn't just compile data, it analyzes it and recommends what to do next. Think of this as kind of like a built-in mission debrief, if you will.
Yeah, it could be, exactly. All right. Tip number 5, the All Projects dashboard. So not too long ago, tracking multiple projects used to be meant juggling dozens of spreadsheets, you know, like one change, one wrong move, and everything's out of sync. So with Monday's All Project dashboards, you don't have to reinvent the Aston Martin. It's a ready-made portfolio dashboard that pulls in every project. Every timeline, every risk, it's all there just in one view. So think of it as your mission control, updated in real time. Let's see this one in action. Okay, so for any of you who use the portfolio solution, this view ought to be very, very familiar to you. This is something that you see all the time. It's the basic portfolio view of all of your projects that are attached. In this case, we only have 3. Sometimes it may be hundreds. But here you're seeing the real basic information that executives want to see, really high-level actionable information. But what if we want to go a little bit deeper and build out a dashboard? I'm sure all of you know how to build a dashboard, but sometimes that's a bit more bespoke. You have to go in there and figure out what you need to see, what kind of chart should I use. Well, what if we want something that is really tailor-made to show key insights, that's really sort of made for executive-level decision-making? Well, Monday has you covered. I'm going to go in here to the portfolio. I'm going to pull up this 3 little dots. We're going to click right here. A lot of really cool things are hidden under these 3 dots. I think you should all check them out in everywhere you see them. But I'm going to click right here, and you see this portfolio components. I'm sure a lot of you have played around with the capacity manager, the resource manager, but right here is the all projects dashboard. Now, I'm going to do a risky thing here and hope that the demo gods are with us. And I'm going to click this, and we're just going to build the dashboard in real time to show you how easy it is to do. I'm going to click Add. And you'll see in just a few seconds, it's going to build us a full dashboard. It's going to load and connect every portfolio, every project that's in that portfolio automatically, so you don't have to do anything. And this was all done live. It's connected, and it's giving you some really, really great data insights. It's giving you the amount of completed tasks that you have amongst all of your projects. It's finding a numbers column, and it's calculating your total budget for all of your projects. It's showing you other key metrics, like the amount of projects with stuck tasks. My personal favorite, it's showing you the project milestones, and it's building out a Gantt chart for you, so you're seeing where in the life cycle you are of all of your projects. All done with one click. Pretty amazing. So from here, leadership can see at a glance what's on track, what's at risk, what's gone off the rails. It's always live, it's always accurate, and it's always briefing ready. All right. Let's move on to the next tip.
On to tip number 6, extract info block. So the extract info block. Every mission racks up expenses, hotels in Monte Carlo for James Bond, Aston Martin rentals, more martinis than finance probably wants to see. But all those receipts, they're unstructured text and images. So without the right system in place, someone has to copy and paste every single detail into a report. No one has time to do that anymore. So that's where this AI feature comes in. It reads contracts, receipts, or briefs, candidly any type of flat file, PDF, and pulls out the critical intel, such as client names, amounts, dates, instantaneously. So let's see this in action, shall we? Looking at Bond's mission expenses board here, we can see all of the expenses that he's racked up as he traversed across all of his missions.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Monte Carlo Hotel, Vesper Martinis, that's a lot of martinis. Casino buy-ins. Now, let's say James Bond has to enter in another mission reimbursement. With our native form functionality, we make it incredibly easy for James to go ahead and enter in that data, such as, in this case, the Aston Martin rental, and most importantly, uploading the specific file to be analyzed by AI. So now, once I submit this, we'll see the magic happen in a few seconds. We can see that the Aston Martin rental item has come into the queue here. And looking at the receipt at hand, what are some important data metrics that we might want to pull in? Might be the name of the receipt, might also be the incurred dates, and most importantly, the total amount paid. We can have AI extract all of these details for you without you having to break a sweat. So if you don't believe me, look at the results. You just saw that the $6,050 automatically got pulled into the total amount column, as well as the incurred date, and last but not least, the address. How do you know that you're leveraging AI? You can tell denoted by this star icon here. Pretty snazzy, huh? So no more manual entries, no more errors, just upload the file, and in seconds you go from receipts to reports, from documents to decisions. So for Bond, that means less time doing expense reports and more time actually saving the world. For you, it means faster processing and cleaner data every single time.
All right.
On to our next tip.
Okay. So what if I told you that you can take any website and, well, almost any website, and just embed it in a Monday dashboard? Pretty much anything. So I'm talking calendars, analytics, even videos. Everything in one place. So that's the power of the Embed Everything widget. The ability to bring anything you need, or in 007's case, love, into a Monday dashboard. Let's see it in action. Again, pop over here to the Embed Everything page. And what you're going to see here is a regular dashboard that I've loaded up with a few of Bond's favorite things from websites that I've just embedded using a simple URL. We've got his favorite sidearm, the Walther PPK. We've got his favorite car, the Aston Martin DB. We can take a look at this. This is a Monday dashboard. This is not a regular website. We've even got a list of James Bond's favorite things, his favorite type of drink. And just to show you how easy this is, I'm going to show, I have a blank Embed Everything here. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to type in wikipedia.org. And we've added it. Now, you can embed any other sort of website, but you can also interact with it as well. So if I wanted to go in here and type in martini cocktail, you can pop it up. So you can see this in any of your websites. So this might be good for James Bond, but what if, say, I don't know, you're at the conference of your favorite software platform.
Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah, and you wanted to embed the website for the conference that you're at while you're at the conference. You could do that too. You can do pretty much anything. The sky's kind of the limit here. You could even pull up the agenda for the conference that you're at, so you could look at it while you're at the conference. Things like that. So whether it's a martini recipe or an embedded LMS module, you don't need to leave your workspace to find it. This overlooked widget transforms your Monday dashboard into a true mission control. It's streamlined, centralized, and ready for whatever assignment comes next. Let's go.
Okay, tip number 8, deal insights. Imagine you're managing a sales team. And if you're here and you actually do manage a sales team, just hang on while everyone gets to your level. You're quite cool. You don't want raw data. You want deal insights. This is your field intel, actionable information, right where you need it. So, you guessed it, let's go see this in action, shall we? So now we have transported into our Monday CRM product, and more specifically, looking at our dedicated deals board here. James Bond, as he's going across all of his missions, he's striking up some cool deals, such as the GoldenEye buyback deal, the Casino Royale deal, the Microtrip Monopoly deal here. James Bond doesn't have the time to look at all of the inputs and derive some kind of insights. Monday.com now goes ahead and amalgamates all of this information for you with the power of AI and calls out what those insights are. Where can we get better as an organization? Looking at the GoldenEye buyback deal, if I open up this item card page, again, pretty bare bones. I'm just looking at inputs, not that helpful. Now, with the power of deal insights, I can go ahead and very swiftly, may I add, add in the deal insights widget. Now, as we're seeing here that AI is processing the data, running the AI models here, it has now shown us two sides of the coin. Where are those positive signals? Areas in which that we can continue to augment, such as we have scheduled next steps, a meeting with Mr. Ali to discuss the mission, incredibly important. But on the other side of the coin, and I would argue more importantly, where can we lean into the red? Where can we unblock ourselves? It's understanding these negative signals. Not enough contacts. Also, AI analyzing the sentiment based off of all the conversations that you and your external customers are having. There are mentions of dissatisfaction and concerns about the overall deal. Not too great, not too great. So, no exports, no guesswork, just real-time insights that give you the clarity of a mission briefing so that your team knows exactly how to close your big whale deals.
All right. Tip number 9, and this one's my favorite. Before I get into item cards and the item card view, I want to give a quick shout out to Katie Browning, who is a solutions consultant for here at Monday. She's the one who suggested this tip, so thank you, Katie. So now I'm going to go out on a very shaky limb here and assume that some of you might have boards that have more than a few columns, maybe more than a dozen, several dozen columns.
Getting a lot of head nods.
Yeah, thousands sometimes, and you are just scrolling left to right all day trying to find the right field. Well, that's where item card view comes in. I mean, instead of Scroll City, you get a clean one-page mission file where you can be tailored to a couple of personas' needs. Let's take a look and see this in action. Okay, so what we have here is a very basic board, but with a lot of columns. We're going to go and just slide this here. Lots and lots of columns. It's actually only about 30, so I'm sure some of you are like, that's not that many columns. But for this purpose, imagine that it's a million. But in this case, how do we go ahead and set up 3 different views for 3 different types of people that show all of the data that they want to see? I could do, I guess I could do like filter view, but that still doesn't allow me to see everything in one place. You still have to scroll a little bit. So that's where the item card view comes in. I'm going to go ahead and click into this item, and we're going to take a look, and we've got our regular tabs. We've got updates, files, activity log, and then we got 3 tabs here. And what I've done is I've set 3 item card views, 1 for each of the 3 personas that are going to be using this board. Adding an item card view is very simple. Just press the plus button, go down here and add item card view, and then you select which columns you want to see. So for James Bond's view, he's very mission oriented. It's all about the objective. So he wants to know who his target is, where he's going, how he's getting out of there, the date that he needs to do it, etc. So obviously he's getting out by the US Marines. He's going to get down Alex Trevelyan, and it's in Severnaya, of course. But for Q, the quartermaster, he cares more about the gadgets. He wants to know what kind of gadget did he give Bond for this mission, an exploding Parker pen grenade. He wants to know where it's being stored when it's not in use. He wants to know if it's been checked before it's gone out, all those things. And then finally, for M, the most important one, of course, she cares about the budget. And we've seen all of the information that's the most important to her in one pane of glass. No scrolling, it's all right here. So with item cards, every task becomes its own mini dashboard. You got instant context, got no clutter, and no wasted time scrolling. All right, final tip.
Final tip, round robin assignment. So one of the most common debates in support teams is which agent gets it next. In Bond's world, that might mean servicing an Aston Martin, mixing martinis, or defusing gadgets that have gone wrong. With round robin assignment in Monday service, that debate is now finally over. Requests are routed automatically and fairly in an equitable fashion, no favoritism, and no guessing. So for the last time, let's see this in action.
There we go. Let's see it in action.
Okay, we are now in our Monday service product. And looking at our dedicated tickets page here, we can see all of the submitted tickets that the MI6 team have submitted.
Lots of tickets, yeah.
A lot of tickets. Looking at some examples here, we can see in the unassigned queue that we have a malfunction in the MI6 mainframe. In the open tickets group here, we can see that there's a biometric access failure, drone control signal jammed, etc. Now, let's say on one of Bond's missions, he's facing some kind of technological challenge. How can he go ahead and resolve this? Well, number one, he'll go into Monday.com's native form functionality that's incredibly easy to access and submit with all of the associated details, such as, in this case, the GPS malfunctioning in his Aston Martin, my name, email address, the criticality of the tickets, as well as uploading additional collateral. Now, within a few seconds, I can submit this. Going back into the main queue, we can see that the GPS malfunction ticket has come in, and without me having to lift a finger, with the power of round robin, we can see that the appropriate agent has been assigned. In this case, it's M. To show you a little bit how this is happening under the hood, very simple, quick time to value. You go into the settings, you go into assignment routing. Now you can choose a team in which you want to institute this round robin functionality to work on. MI6. Very easy. Very, very easy. As you can see, every request gets distributed evenly across the team. That means balanced workloads, faster responses, happier customers, and most importantly, no agents left behind. Right, Dave?
None. OK. Oh, that's right. So that's our final tip for today. And so what we want to do really quickly is just say thank you so much for coming. We are actually we're actually going to be presenting some of these in master classes around the event in the next tomorrow. We do know that getting tickets to those master classes is harder than getting into a Taylor Swift concert. So if anybody wants to come and ask us questions about them, we'll be hanging out. Come and find us, approach us. We'd love to talk to you in depth about them.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.